Hi everybody, Tammy here. Welcome to my bookshelf, and as you can see I have a big stack of books with me today, and that's because I am contemplating joining in on the Read What You Own challenge. A lot of booktubers are doing this right now. I believe Criminology is one. Criminali is one of the YouTubers who spearheaded this. He's actually reading 100 books before he buys any other books. I also know that MJ over at Reading This Life and lots of other booktubers are doing it. So if you do a search on hashtag Read What You Own challenge, you will find them all. I think I'm going to join, and I'm trying to figure out the parameters of what I'm going to do as far as joining. So one of the issues I have is that I have a couple of book subscriptions, book club subscriptions that I have joined. And I'm kind of contemplating if I'm going to pause them or keep doing them. And I wanted to, or even just cancel them outright and never restart them. And some of those books are here. In fact, this stack of books are books that I have recently acquired. Some of them are from, the Book Drop. And let me just say, I'm sorry for my voice. I am still getting over a really nasty bug. But anyway, so these books, some of them are from the Book Drop book club that I joined. Some are from Scribblers. Some are books I picked up at a bookstore not too long ago. And I wanted to kind of evaluate what I got so far in these book clubs, and maybe you guys could help me down in the comments below and give me some thoughts of your own on this. So this book here, before I go, I'm actually getting ready to pick this up very soon. This was from the Book Drop. The Book Drop is a club that is from an independent bookseller, and you can pick out the genres that you want based on various categories. Originally, I had, I got this one from them, and what are the other ones? This is the first one I got from that group, and then I think this is the latest one. Okay, so let's look at the Book Drop first. So the Book Drop, get up there. Okay, don't fall. All right, so the first one I got from the Book Drop was this one, Children of the Catastrophe by Sarah Shoemaker. And originally I had picked the category that they call Books for Tea, which was historical and literary fiction. And I had to say, this is not calling to me, this novel. It sounds like there might be a little bit of romance in it, but basically it's during the war. It's, set in the backdrop of the massacre of Greeks and Armenians after World War I, a deeply affecting family story of love and survival. I tend to not really gravitate towards books that have war in them. And so it's just not that I won't try to read it, but it's not calling me. This was the next one that I got from the Book Drop. This one immediately sounds like something I like. And because I wasn't super keen about this one, I went back and I changed my category, which was nice to be able to do that. I changed it to what they call Books for Bubbly, and it is strictly romance. I hesitate because I do like romance, but I'm not just a romance reader, so that's why I didn't originally pick it. But this one, by Brian Charles, Before I Go. This one looks interesting. It's the spirit of the notebook. Brian Charles, Before I Go, is once a tender love story and a powerful, provocative exploration of life after loss and the numinous links that tie all our lives together. So this does look interesting, and I think this is actually the next book I plan to pick up any day now, so sometime this week. So this was a big hit. And then more recently, I got this book from the Book Drop, The Stolen Book by Evelyn Aubrey. What if you could write a new ending for yourself? So this has some historical elements in comparison of 1898 versus 2006. This gorgeously written and emotionally rich novel is filled with deeply compelling characters, beautiful prose, and a mystery that kept me turning the pages. So this does look interesting, and so really, since I changed to the bubbly versus the tea category with Book Drops, these two, they've done well. This one was a hit, but a miss, but these two I think are a hit. So I have to decide now. I had a 3-month subscription to Book Drop. Should I pause it and just wait till after I read a certain number of books I own? I'm kind of leaning towards that, thinking maybe I should at least, for my personal Read What You Own challenge, is do what I'm doing now, review and look at what I have in my more recent book stack and try to read those before I get more books from these book clubs. I mean, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think that would even work as part of the challenge? The other book club I've joined is Scribblers, and I originally got the regular Scribbler subscription, and then I switched it to the Slim version, where you just get the book and you get the writing booklets and pamphlets and stuff, and then like one little other thing maybe, but you don't get all the swag kind of stuff. And the first one I got was this one, Jeff Wheeler, The Druid, and I did read this. I have a review posted. It's going to be up eventually on my channel. It's fantasy. It's way out of my wheelhouse, but I did enjoy it. I didn't love it. It did not make me a fantasy reader, but I would call this a hit because I read it and I liked it okay. The next one I got from the Scribbler subscription was Big Chica's Don't Cry. This, I'd say, is a hit. It looks very much in my wheelhouse. Yeah, cousins Maria, Erica, Selena, and Gracie are inseparable. They aren't just family, but best friends, sharing secrets, traditions, and a fierce love for their abuelita. But their idyllic childhood ends when Mari's parents divorce, forcing her to move away. With Mari gone, the girls' tight-knit bond unravels. This looks interesting to me, so I would say that is a hit, even though I haven't read it yet. This was the latest one I got. Don't Go to Sleep, Bryce Moore. I'm not sure about this one. Obviously, the cover suggests there's going to be some violence in here, and typically that's not something I like to read. But it does have, from what I remember, because I think I showed this recently on my channel when I unboxed the bag. This one is set in New Orleans, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. I like that setting idea. So this is questionable. I don't know. Again, so should I stop my Scribbler subscription at least until after I read a certain number of books for the challenge? That's the question. So the other books I have are books I purchased recently from a little bookshop in Cocoa Village. The bookshop was Hello Again Books. And so I purchased Louise Erdrich's The Sentence, which I'm almost finished. I might finish this today, obviously, definitely tomorrow at the latest. And I will do a review on this. I'm kind of, I have mixed feelings about this book, but anywho, yeah, so I'm almost done reading that. The other book I picked up at the bookstore was called Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Obviously, I picked these out myself, so there was no surprise about, what I was getting here. This one is interesting. It's about a woman who, her child disappears, and then years later she ends up seeing another little girl who looks a lot like her, and it sounds like she might have some sort of relationship with the child's father too as well. So this looks kind of interesting, and yeah, this is something I really want to read soon. So this is another one I bought at that bookstore. And then finally I bought this. This is nonfiction, The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. Typically not something I read, but it just kind of spoke to me. This is a little bookmark I got there. But anyway, so these are my most recent books. I will say I have a couple of books on order. McFarland Publishing was having a 40% off sale, and they're actually the publisher of my Jane Austen book that I'm working on, and they typically have fairly expensive titles, so I did order a couple of books from them, and they're on the way. But those are nonfiction, and those are more like reference books, not necessarily reading for pleasure type books, so I wouldn't normally, like, those are something, like I said, I will reference and use as far as research. And then, believe it or not, it looks like I'm going to have to actually buy a copy of a copy of Wuthering Heights, even though I swear to God I have a copy somewhere and I just cannot find it for the life of me. But I'm going to be doing that as part of the Reading Dead People, what do you call it? I guess challenge that's going on with Heather's Heroes and Heroines. And I guess I'm going to have to buy that book. So that's a book I'm definitely going to have to buy at some point because I've looked everywhere. I can't find it. And then finally, I'm also listening to, so it counts as a read, Dracula, which was part of the Reading Dead People challenge. And that I can't remember. I think I have quite a bit. I maybe have halfway through it, but I have not been in my car reading a lot or listening to it a lot or riding my bike because I've been sick for weeks and we had a hurricane and all that kind of thing. So I have not been able to travel, go to school as much and listen and ride my bike and listen. So I hope all this is making sense. But so here I have this stack of books. This one I've almost finished reading. So if I'm thinking, guys, I'm going to do the challenge, but I'm going to be really a big weenie about it. Okay. And I'm just going to pick 10 books because I am not a fast reader. And if I said 100 books or even 25 books, I feel like then I would never buy a book. So I'm going to say 10 books with the caveat of I have to buy Wuthering Heights. And with the other caveat is that I am going tomorrow, for the next couple of days, I'm going to be visiting Brevard County, and I might go back to this bookshop. And if I do, I am going to allow myself to buy some books, but I'm also going to donate some books I've read. I'm going to donate definitely The Druid, and there's a couple other books that aren't here that I read recently that I will probably donate to that bookshop. So that would leave to read right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to count this, 7, 8, and then if I count Wuthering Heights, which I'm going to be reading, like I said, as part of the Reading Dead People, that's 9, and I have no doubt I could find it. And then if I get some books at the bookshop, then that would be my 10. And I'll tell you what, in fact, if I buy more than one book at the bookshop, I will increase my have to read list to more than 10, depending on how many I pick up, if I even can go. I have other reasons I have to be in the area, so I might not make it over there. I'm really going to try, though. And if I go, I will buy stuff. So anyway, yeah, at least 10 books. I'm in, guys. I do think it is a very worthwhile, challenge to do. I love the idea of reading what you have. I'm not really huge on buying tons and tons of books typically, but like most people who read, I do buy books. So let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on my 10, possibly a little bit more as far as the challenge goes. And let me know if you are doing the challenge. If you are, please comment about that in the comments down below, and I'll go check out your channel and see what you have to tell me about your, challenge. I know everybody's kind of creating their own rules for this to a certain extent, so I'm curious to see what other people are doing. Like I said, I've been watching quite a few videos of booktubers who are jumping in on this. And yeah, thanks for stopping by to see what's on my bookshelf. Please subscribe and give this a thumbs up. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.